어디야?
집이지? 우리 새로 시작한다고 그랬잖아. 이게 그거야. 아빠는 빅 가든 하나 만들 거야.
Hey guys, Smiling Reviewer here, and today we are talking about Minari. Minari is a drama written and directed by Lee Isaac Chung, who is a new up-and-coming director who has done some smaller features, but this is his first big project, so to speak. The film is about a family of South Korean immigrants who try to start a new living in the rural United States during the 1980s. I'll start with the cast in my review because the performances in this movie were really good across the board, and that's because the family is the heart of this story and really what drives the movie forward. Yeun plays the dad of the family in Minari and was one of the reasons that I was really looking forward to this movie because I have been rooting for this guy's career since I watched him all the way back as Glenn Rhee in the Walking Dead days. He's just such an incredibly underrated actor, and I think the world is yet to see his full potential as an actor. But Minari really gave him a chance to act his heart out in this story about the perseverance and hardship of immigrant families, and I think he crushed it. He does such an incredible job at playing a father who wants to do everything in his power to succeed, not just for the sake of his family, but for his own self-pride as well. Yeri Han plays the mother of the family, who is instantly very hesitant and uneasy about this new beginning, and she does a great job at portraying an internal conflict, because while it's obvious she also wants what's best for the family, like Yeun's character, she isn't sold on his idea of starting a farm, and this begins to create a rift in their marriage, which becomes another conflict our characters need to deal with. Yuh-jung plays the grandma and mother of Yeri Han's character, and I thought she was also a standout because she played that loving but sometimes inappropriate elderly figure so well, and she's that typical elderly figure that can tell any member of the family to calm down and that everything is going to be okay. Also, her interactions with the son of the family added a lot of amazing comedic moments, but this pairing also led to some really heartwarming and endearing moments as well. And of course, I was saving best for last, Alan Kim, the actor who plays the son in this movie. Oh my god, talk about stealing every scene he's in. Not only is this kid the most adorable kid that's ever existed, he did such a good acting job considering he's only 8 years old and has never acted before prior to this movie. He's just hilarious throughout and also added so much heart to the movie as well. The reason this film resonated with me though is because it just feels like such a true depiction of how hard it is for immigrants to start a new life in a place that's so different from their home, and just how much anxiety and uncertainty there is with situations like that. Much like 2019's Marriage Story, directed by Noah Baumbach, it's one of those movies that thrives on showing a realistic depiction of a situation where nothing overly dramatic or super exciting necessarily happens, but you just feel like a fly on the wall, watching this South Korean family try to make a living and succeed, and you can't help but root for them and just be terrified at the idea of things not working out for them. And I think Lee Isaac Chung did an incredible job at capturing that feeling and making the audience feel that way. Because unfortunately, it is easy to forget how hard it is to be an immigrant in our world, and it's not a hardship that many of us have to face. So this movie does a good job at giving us a real story that we can all relate to, but shown through the lens of an immigrant. I hope this film gets the recognition it deserves, because I think some audiences are put off because they think it's a foreign film, which makes them a bit iffy about it. But even though Minari is about a Korean family that majoritively speak Korean throughout the movie, I wouldn't really even call this a Korean movie. The director Lee Isaac Chung and the lead actor Yeun are both American Koreans, and the movie is actually loosely based on Lee Isaac Chung's actual upbringing, as he grew up on a small farm in rural Arkansas himself. And he said that one day he went into a library and he just wrote down some personal memories that he had from that time, and that he ended up using that as the basis for the story of Minari. Minari, however, can be a bit of a slow film. That isn't necessarily a fault because it uses its time meaningfully. It's definitely not your typical movie, and I think you'll enjoy this movie if you liked other more slow burn movies that focus very much on character and emotion, like Marriage Story or The Farewell. But if you're not familiar with films of this style, I think you should still give it a go. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised because at the end of the day, Korean or American, this is a human story that most of us will be able to relate to. So Minari for me gets a nice 8.5 out of 10. Alan Kim's acceptance speech for the Critics' Choice Award for Best Young Actor though gets a strong 10 out of 10.
And the Critics' Choice is
Alan, Tim. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the critics who voted and my family, Isaac, Christina, Doug. Oh my goodness, I'm crying. My Susanna, Harry, Yeun, Youn, Noel, Will, Patton, Mike, A24, Plan B, and the other crew members. I hope I will be in other movies soon.
He literally pinches himself and says, "Is this a dream?" Come on, how is that not the most adorable thing you've ever seen? But anyways, I'm the Smiling Reviewer. I really enjoyed talking to you guys about this movie, and I will see you in the next one. See you later, guys.